Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I think there's only about 4 or 5 guys here, so let's just might as well start. And since we only have a few people, just sit closer, please. Might as well. Okay, I wasn't expecting this little people, but thank you so much, really, for coming over. Um, Actually, this workshop, I wanted to have like a sharing session, about half an hour of using how we see is using the collaborative metaverse as it is. Using virtual reality, augmented reality technology can be used for learning and development, especially for the new workforce, younger generation, and sharing some of the things that we have done personally as a company in Malaysia. And after that, I was hoping for a sort of, you know, forum-ish session where we can just get some points of views from people. But I think let's just start. So I'm Zamir from a company called Innovim. We are the gold sponsors, one of the gold sponsors for this event. And I'm here to share with you about this topic. Just quickly covering ourselves, we are a 3D data solutions company. We are based in KL, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And we use 3D simulation, visualization technologies, virtual reality, augmented reality for businesses. So we are a B2B company, and we develop custom applications for our clients. And this is actually our 10th year of operation. We are multi-industry presence. We are in oil and gas, agriculture, and so on. We are also in Indonesia, which is one of the largest markets in Southeast Asia. This is my colleague, Dimas. He's from our Indonesian office. Okay. And we are funded by Malaysian government as well, under the Malaysian Technology Development Corporation. And our major clients include, some super majors in oil and gas, Petronas from Malaysia, Pertamina from Indonesia, and some of the major theme parks in Indonesia as well. So we do 3D simulation using engineering software like computational fluid dynamics, finite element analysis, as well as game engine simulations like Unity, Unreal, and so on. And then we develop, using those 3D simulations, we port it to VR or AR interactive applications. And the sort of solutions that we actually provide include engineering consulting and digital transformation consulting as well. We are a mixed reality partner for Microsoft, part of their mixed reality partner program. And we are the only Malaysian-owned company under this program for Microsoft. Okay, and we got that earlier this year in 2022. In March, I should say. So we're very proud of this achievement. It shows our level as a world-class practitioner for mixed reality. So when we talk about training, learning, and development in industry, my clients are all industry-based. My clients are all businesses. So they're all looking at how they can ensure that their workforce continues to perform. And there are certain shifts in the business landscapes that is happening right now. Digitalization, everyone's talking about going digital transformation, and so on. One major shift is the Gen Zs, the generation, the younger generation, and this generation are people who are born with iPads in their hands. So these are digital native generation. So we need to design training solutions based on this younger generation, as well as sustainability as well. We're talking about climate change, gender equality, and so on and so forth. Now, excuse me. As we all know, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. That's what Malcolm X mentioned in 1962. So when we develop strategies for training, learning, and development for companies, they need to prepare for the future. You cannot be preparing a future for younger generation, whereas your learning strategy, your training strategy still is in the past. It has to apply to the younger generation as well. So when we talk about digital transformation, I'm a big fan of Tony Stark. I'm a big fan of Iron Man, Marvel. I had a chat with that gentleman over there about Hollywood being the benchmark for what people expect to see in VR. So this is a real, he's a real inspiration to me. And if we look at, what he has, in the movies, his computational vision domain, he's got awesome visuals, it's highly interactive, you've got 2D, 3D data, and he uses this to actually decide what to do next. And then he's got Jarvis in the background as well. So from here, excuse me, we can see that there are a number of things that are important. First is that data is key. Data analysis is key. You can't just have gimmicks. You can't just have VR for the sake of VR. You have to have something that is based on actual data that can help companies to make decisions and so on. And this comes from structured or unstructured data sources, contextualized and analyzed to provide the right insights that can be translated to actionable items. Another thing is that what Tony Stark has involves integrated technologies. You can't just have VR, AR solutions. To be meaningful, to have purpose, you need to have integrated into other technologies as well, like IoT data captures, the cloud, cybersecurity, and so on. So it involves multiple technologies together. And we are human beings. As human beings, we are very, visual creatures. We like to see things. If given a text, it has to be nice fonts and so on. So we prefer things that are nice looking and so on. And also, when Jarvis is around Tony, he can talk to Jarvis. He talks to Jarvis, he gives him a different point of view and so on. So collaboration also makes things simpler for them. Now, in the context of the Malaysian digital transformation industries, or ecosystem, I should say, this is the Malaysian National 4IR policy, okay, in a nutshell, roughly. And in Malaysia, it has been identified 5 key foundational technologies, particularly AI, IoT, blockchain, cloud computing, and advanced materials. But in there somewhere, it talks about convergence technologies like VR, AR has been mentioned as well, okay? And this is where they use VR, AR to converge all these different data sources. And typically, this is how it will be positioned. You've got the IoTs to capture the data, real time, right time, from smart sensors, smart appliances, and so on. All these data goes to the cloud, and the cloud is actually a supercomputer at your fingertips, with storage, high performance computing, and so on. You got AI, artificial intelligence, different types of AI as well. Now you can even have art based on AI. So data recognition, sound recognition, image recognition, algorithms, automation, and so on. You got blockchain for decentralized applications for the mass market. And then once you have all these analytics, you use that for manufacturing, creating better products, and so on. But VR and AR becomes the human-machine interface to these data, to these, for the company. So they visualize data, the user input, user output, simulation, and so on. Now everyone knows at least everyone here knows about VR, AR, what they are, and so on. This is a sample of what we have done with Petronas. So we brought a full VR, so a full oil platform, converted into a 3D application, allowing Petronas to travel around and see their facility and have a proper experience on how things are offshore. Okay? So this was done based on an actual asset. So we went offshore. We went to see how the facility looks like. And from there, we built this virtual environment to allow them to travel here and so on. Another thing that we have included in this would be this new equipment. Okay, so this is a new equipment called they call it the Novel Offshore Sand Disposal System. And this is not there on site. This is a new equipment that they've done research on that they want to see a prototype. So we did this as a virtual prototype project for Petronas. So we simulated how it goes, how it works, and so on. Okay? So this is a sample of virtual reality. And augmented reality, this is using HoloLens. For example, we're seeing a COVID-infected lung. This is in our office in KL. And 2D, 3D data can be visualized. And on the 3D model, you can actually see where the infections on the lung will be. Okay, so we feel that VR AR can be or is definitely an effective enabler for digital transformation. We can create customized content. We can create and design content that's functional based on specific purpose, highly interactive and fun to use, engaging, include 2D and 3D data visualization, and ultimately we got virtual collaboration capabilities as well. Now, when we talk about virtual collaboration, the metaverse comes to mind. So I'm just sharing with you here what Mark Zuckerberg showed us when they changed their name from Facebook to Meta. So he imagines, it's too loud. So imagine this 3D space where people coming in, multiple people coming in, interacting with each other, talking with each other, visualizing things, playing games, socializing, and so on. Okay? So this concept of virtual collaboration is something that's inherent in the term metaverse. Multiple people joining in a virtual environment together. Okay? But this is nothing new. Nothing new with this. It's just a term coined by Facebook. There's nothing new. People have been doing collaboration for a long time in virtual reality. But this is the power of virtual reality that we have to highlight, whether we like the term metaverse or not. And for us, we have been deploying collaborative virtual experiences for Petronas before. So for example, it's the same application that you saw just now, but there are now more people in there. Okay, so you got the guy who's taking the video, you got the guy in the white hat, and the guy in the yellow hat on the left. So now someone from, say, East Malaysia, someone from Kuala Lumpur, someone from north of Malaysia can come in together, wear this headset, and interact and collaborate together on an actual site-specific virtual environment and learning about the equipment together. Okay? So this is virtual reality collaboration. Now Microsoft comes in and shows the HoloLens. So this was from HoloLens 1. And you can see that they're collaborating, seeing a building design together. And now we actually have our own collaboration platform as well with augmented reality. With HoloLens 2, it gives us much more power for spatial anchors, for co-located collaboration like this. So myself and my colleague, we are playing and interacting with content together at the same time. Again, it's in my office in KL. Okay, and you can imagine the content can be anything. It allows for powerful simulation to be done collaboratively for training purposes, for planning, for operations, for project management, for various value creation for companies. Okay? And This is something that you can actually try out yourself because we brought this at our booth. So you can see an actual oil and gas platform, very detailed 3D model with actual IoT data cards at the back. And we can even link with 360 visualization as well. Okay? So it gives a full interactive virtual environment allowing more people to collaborate with each other. So this is co-located collaboration where you are at the same place, right? And we are looking at very detailed 3D assets, very detailed digital twins of actual facilities that are ongoing. So when we talk about the metaverse, however our perceptions are on it, basically it is, from my point of view, is the collaboration between people in different locations or in the same place to collaborate, to work together. And when we talk about learning and development for employees, for companies, for their future, it is a very powerful tool that can be used in order to create the next generation workforce. Okay, first of all, digitalization, we can simulate anything. We can create based on actual real-time data. It's very suitable for Gen Zers, you know. My young children, they spend hours on VR, okay, drawing and seeing things and things like that. And definitely when we don't have to go to actual sites, then you save, your carbon footprint becomes much lower as well. Now, just to very quickly go through some case studies on training and development using the metaverse technology. Now, everyone knows Accenture, massive organization. Excuse me. They have onboarding of their new recruits in VR. I'm sure, you might know this already. They've got 700,000 employees worldwide, 50 billion revenues, 50 billion US dollar revenues, and this is how they onboard their new recruits. A huge virtual environment, multiple people coming in together, talking with each other, collaborating with each other, okay, and simulating anything that they want. Seeing 3D assets, seeing 3D models, simulating water, simulating many things, whatever they want to do. This is one of the best, best benefit of being in a virtual world. You can literally simulate anything that you want. Okay?
Welcome to Accenture Virtual Reality. This is Accenture bringing the power of human ingenuity and technology.
Now, another case study that I would like to share about teaching and learning is our very own anatomy teaching metaverse that we are currently developing. We are working together with a local university in Malaysia, and this is our prototype. We're using an immersive virtual environment like this to teach anatomy. It's an immersive learning environment, but now it allows for real-time student-lecturer interactions. Many more people can come in and learn together. Okay, you simulate human body, manipulate things, and what I'm doing, someone else can see exactly what I'm doing as well. Okay? So you have all these features, like I mentioned just now, in a virtual environment. You can simulate anything that you want. But we also know that this is a teaching tool. So you need to have these additional, it has to be a complete ecosystem for teaching and learning. Okay? So you have, we have built-in internet browsers, whiteboards. We can link up their own data, their own lecture notes, and so on and so forth. Again, learning and training and learning development in the metaverse or in this collaborative environment. And another thing that we are also, I like to share is training simulators, okay, for facilities that are not even complete yet. And this is what we have done with Petronas. They have a new facility, novel facility, creating MEG, monoethylene glycol, from environmental friendly stuff, basically. That's why they call it bio-MEG. So this new plant is not even complete yet. And yet, people can collaboratively, as a team, come in and learn and train how to operate this facility together. Okay? So, again, real life data, actual site-specific data, with site-specific operating procedures simulated in 3D environment like this. And we no longer train by ourselves. We train as a team. And when we train as a team, everyone has their own roles. Someone has to do this, someone checks over him, someone is at the control center, monitoring what these people are doing. These are all things that we can do in this collaborative environment. Okay, and this is the things that we, as a company, we are doing in Malaysia. So for us, basically, I started this workshop session, putting out the idea of, for companies to prepare for their future, they need to train their workforce who are normally Gen Zers, who are born with iPads in their hands. So they need to be prepared to teach and train these people in a way that is more suited for them, right? And using this collaborative metaverse platform, this collaboration allows, virtual collaboration allows for real life training of teams, okay? And for companies who want to apply this, basically, for a strategy point of view, choose the right technology partner with a clear deployment strategy. Focus on content, focus on what the company really wants to achieve, and develop based on that. And basically, don't expect immediate returns. When I talk to CEOs, when I talk to my potential clients, what's the ROI? What's the ROI? Your Gen Z workforce are not here yet. They are just leaving. They're in university, leaving university. So prepare for the future now, and the ROI will come sooner rather than later. So yeah, I think this concept of collaboration in the virtual environment is something very powerful. We can simulate anything, allowing people to be in this virtual environment together, whether you are in various locations or you are at the same location, co-located, I should say. And from there, it will create an infinite opportunity for future learning and development. So, yeah, that is basically the end of what I would like to share. And possibly, I would like to get some feedback from you who over here on what your thoughts are with regards to the metaverse and to this collaboration. Anyone would like to share some points? Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it.
I'll jump in with one. Just to congratulate you on your avatars. I have to say they're really effective. The solution because I find it they can be quite either too playful, too childlike, or not considered enough, or maybe semi, the whole sort of uncanny valley sort of thing. Come up with a really nice high-fidelity solution.
Actually, we discuss this a lot with our client, with Petronas particularly. And this, the simulations that we are doing is more functional. It's for a specific purpose, so they don't want to be distracted with unnecessary things. They want to be quite straightforward, straight to the point, and the avatars that we used for Petronas, for example, are really based on discussions with them, trying a few samples as well, and that's what we ended up with. And we sort of use the same approach for our medical anatomy application that we're developing just now as well.
Right, the Invisible Man avatar. No, seriously, because I think
Yeah.
something about the rendering of the part and everything makes it look, feels like it could be you in that. In fact, you can't see the face.
Yeah.
It could be you. It doesn't matter what it's DER or what's.
Do you need a mic, sir?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I think the fact that you don't see the face means it can be you can put yourself in that figure. I think if it's the wrong gender or wrong ethnicity, you won't do that. So I think the avatars are really successful. So just moving on, sorry, hogging the floor, but my other point, we had a conversation earlier about if it's so good, if this is all so good and collaboration so good, why is it still so hard to sell the concept of digital twins and collaboration remotely and is it more than, is it something about managing expectations? Yeah, so I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, my personal view is that as a country, because the reason why we are here, we would like to get a bit more international flavor and learn what other people are doing as well. We've been in Malaysia for such a long time, and typically in Malaysia, the CEOs are all bean counters. They are finance people. And so the first question that will come up from their mouths would be, what will be the ROI? We've gotten so much success with Petronas so far is because of their mindset of really trying to find new ways of working. And not really, well, probably they've got a lot of money as well, but not really worrying about, what the ROI is and things like that. So that's why we're getting a lot of traction with Petronas. But other than that, it's quite limited. Definitely the economic conditions right now are not ideal for anyone. But we still have to innovate. We still have to prepare for the future. And this is what's worrying me. And I feel like maybe in the Malaysian market, probably we're not ready yet. Maybe we need to see Singapore really catching up, or even Indonesia. This is for those who came late. My colleague from Indonesia, who's here supporting me as well. In Malaysia, we do a lot of museum digitalization using this 3D technology and whatnot. So you might need to see other people who are closer to you, who are successful and getting the ROIs. Only then you would want to change as well. I don't know. For me, Malaysia as a market, we're not really ready yet to really embrace this technology.
So I'll just hand the mic in a second. But one thing you might want to consider is I do a lot of work in design and health. So designing health systems, redesigning health systems, services and products. But you need the health economist to say, you can't just go in there and say, if we redesign this, it's going to be better for you. You need the health economist to come in and say, if we redesign this, for every pound that we spend, we save you £3, and this is why. And I think if you can start selling, that's what I mean by expectations, collaboration in this way will save you X on travel, it will save you X on, so you can actually say for every simulated experience, you're saving X amount of money. And Accenture would have done that, in terms of why they've used that system. So I think that's possibly one of the tricks that you need to spend some time on.
I get what you're saying, and that's really a valid point. Thank you so much. Mr. Eng Tat, maybe you want to join in the conversation as well? If you don't mind, you're one of the, veterans of the industry, I should say.
Yes, thanks for the sharing. Very, very interesting work. I think the multi-user environment to do a digital twins and ability for multi-users to interact and go through the environment to discuss, I think those are very useful. I have a question to really understand from your own implementation, working with your clients, how do they find, you know, such a environment, virtual environments for their work plans, discussions, as compared to, say, a physical on-site meetings or things? And what are the what aspect does a virtual environment works well or even better? And what are some of the shortcomings that you know, are opportunities for the design? Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that question. Well, basically, one of the reasons why we have been quite successful with Petronas is our ability to simulate things that are not there yet. So they see the value immediately from that. For them to create a prototype or to install something immediately, that's what, $5 million, $10 million immediately, and only to find that, oh, it won't work, or it doesn't fit here, and things like that. So one of the things that we are using, I'm just going to go back to this video here. It shows, yeah, I skipped this part. Basically, the purpose of this simulation was creating a virtual prototype of a new equipment. Okay, that they have a small working rig in their research lab, but they started to create engineering designs for a real life working rig, but they don't want to spend yet. They want to see how can they get buy-ins from potential users. So this is where, you know, we are creating this virtual prototype, and we can even train them and simulate how these things work internally as well. Now, mind you, the visuals aren't really that nice. You know, again, we're not Hollywood, the benchmark. Maybe, you know, you're expecting real wonderful things in there, but it's more functionally trying to explain how this equipment works. So you've got slurries of oil-covered sand. You know, sand that they collect from the reservoir is covered in oil. You know, so they need, but this sand, you have to dispose of them. If you pass it in the pipelines, the sand will erode the pipelines easily. So one way is to clean them first. So now they have this washing machine type equipment where, using specific chemicals, they can separate the oil from the sand. And then the clean sand can immediately be dumped overboard, saving a lot of unnecessary, you know, problems.
Don't
So,
dump the sand.
sorry?
Don't dump the sand. Sell the sand to Singapore.
Sell the sand to Singapore. What a wonderful idea. Yeah, so how can they make their potential clients understand this process? And in these scenarios, right, they want this. But for normal operations, day-to-day operations, they are used to the way they are working, right? So I'm not even going there yet. We are trying to solve specific pain points. We are trying to solve specific issues and creating value using collaboration in the virtual environment. And this is one of the ways we are doing that. In general, because of the power of simulation that we can put in these virtual environments, this is what they are looking at. This is the value they're trying to look at. I had a call from one of Petronas's operations, part of their executive leadership team, and they want to create, centralized control rooms so that they can operate all their facilities, okay? And they are planning to spend a few hundred million ringgit for that. And he called me up. Can we actually have all those in a virtual environment, in a metaverse? And I said, of course you can. Of course you can, you know? And you can, immediately be flexible with whatever that you want to see. And it can be different control systems for different facilities, and immediately all these potential opportunities come up. And people they don't even have to come to office. They have a headset at home, and there's an emergency, for example, that, if something actually happened offshore somewhere, and they call boss, there's an explosion or whatever it is, immediately just wear the headset and you are there. So those are the things that we are talking about. The issue here is, trying to create the same acknowledgement of the importance of this virtual collaboration in other industries, in other companies. And that's where I'm still struggling. By the way, I met Mr. Engtat a long time ago in Singapore. I think it was 2012, 2013, something like that. And finally, I meet him again. I'm very happy to see you. Thank you so much.
Very impressive work. Congratulations. I think you all did very, very well. I think the values that you are demonstrating is exactly right. The ability to step through all these scenes, environment that are not even there, and able to kind of get people to be anticipating or prepared for it. I think that's excellent work. Thank you.
And I sort of like this as well, because it's a simple example of collaboration. We can be, I'm not sure if we have it here.
Are you going to Mars now?
Probably not Elon Musk yet. So we can be putting things, okay, I don't have it here, but basically we can assemble this rover together. It explodes it into various smaller parts, and then we can collaboratively reassemble them together. And I find this is awesome, because we can assemble pumps, compressors, or electric vehicles. And now, if you're in a polytechnic somewhere and you want to learn about electric vehicles, are you going to spend $50,000 on a Tesla, or you can spend a fraction of that with a simulation like this? So I think there's a lot of value. It is definitely the future for learning and development. It's just that, how can we create this environment where it's being embraced by more and more industries out there. So I think that's 4:30, bang on the dot. So thank you so much. Anyone else have anything to add to the discussion? So if not, I think, is there anyone? So if not, I think I'll end my session today. Really, really appreciate everyone coming here, although only a few would like a bit more. But thank you so much again. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your ISMAR. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, you can go to our stand and you can actually try this one out. Okay, and for this one, okay, I just said thank you and just now, but ultimately what we have here is what I'd like you to realize is the detail of the 3D models. Okay, the detail of industry level 3D models, and they are massive. They are really, really massive, and it cannot be processed just using the onboard GPUs of a HoloLens. We are using edge computing, where the GPU, the graphics processing is being done separately and streamed to the HoloLens. So this is what we have at our booth. Please do try it out after this. Thank you so much. I really gonna end my talk now. Thank you so much.